Pancreatic Cancer 5K out on the Hoodlebug Trail in Indiana, PA by the Divine Destiny Ministries Church trailhead. I finished first overall in 1901. Not a fast 5K time, even on a rail trail. I wasn't trying to kill myself today, use it as more of a shakeout race type run for tomorrow, and just try to get my body used to running in the cold, which I usually run a little bit slower in colder temperatures, especially when I'm going to get acclimated to it. It was like 70 degrees a couple days this week, and now this morning it was 40, so a little shock to the system, but it went pretty well. Still one of my slower 5Ks. This is like rail trail, well, paved rail trail, I guess. Used to be actual rail trail, but they paved it over the last couple years, so now it's like an asphalt, softer asphalt. It's been a few years since I've been back to this specific race. I bike this trail like once a year fully, but whatever. So I finished first. Again, it was a little chilly this morning. I had to wear a long sleeve shirt, had some gloves on. I didn't take a gaiter because I figured that'd be too much. I'm glad I didn't, because I did get a little bit too hot. Had my calf sleeves, shorts over top, some compression shorts. So it was layered semi for the conditions, but still trying to stay cool, but not get overheated, but stay warm at the same time. The stash did play, growing a little stash for the next month for men's mental health, but that's another story. Anyway, as we started out, it took me roughly a quarter of a mile or 3/10 to take the lead. There was a bunch of kids, well, like teenagers, out in front, and I couldn't really weave in and around them just the way they were staggered, so I just hung back and let them all fall back, and then I finally took the lead with that like quarter of a mile in / 3/10 into the race, and then led from there. Felt pretty good. I was running in low sixes, obviously, for the first like 2 miles. I don't know what my third mile and last 10th was, but I'll have to check. But I would still say it was still low sixes. Actually turned out to be a nice morning, even if it was in the 40s. Legs felt good. I felt good. I didn't burn up at all, but starting to get a little hot and sweaty about 2:07, 2:08 into the race. Just when my heart rate started to go up, and then just my body being warm in general. That's when I started to get a little bit warm. Other than that, the sewage smell was pretty strong today. There's a little sewage treatment plant about a mile into the race, so you pass it both times. It lasts maybe 1/10 of a mile. Was pretty smelly today, but nothing bad. The trail was pretty clear. There were some leaves on the edges, but for the most part, I would say 90% of the trail was cleared, so that was pretty nice. Other than that, really not much to say. Pretty straightforward race. Did wear my carbons today. Glad I did. I mean, I probably could have knocked another minute off my time easily, but I'm trying to save my legs for Sweat for Vets tomorrow, because it's going to be a pain in the ass. So I'm trying to, again, get acclimated and run a race, but not blow myself up. So I hit that goal today. I'm glad I came. Of course, I got first, so I'm happy about that as well. See if I can't pull the medal out of my pocket. This is the medal. I think I got like a last year's t-shirt because I didn't register till day of, but for 20 bucks doing a race, I'll take it. Like I said, 1901, I think 0.8. So pretty decent crowd, a lot of walkers. And that was the one thing I forgot to mention on the way back, when I did hit the walk crowd, because they were doing a 1.5 mile walk as well with the 5K. Like when I start hitting them on the way back, with that like 0.75 left into the race, I did have to turn it on probably 4 or 5 times, like a red line sprint type deal, to get around people, because there's people still coming out walking, and then there's people already heading back. So I had to sprint as they were like closing in on each other, just to do like a Z pattern real quick around them. So that was actually probably the reason why I was starting to get hot the last couple tenths of the race, because I did have to red line it just a tad to get around people. But not that that's a big deal, but I didn't want to slow up and wait for people to pass or come to a dead stop until they intersected. So I did push a little bit in those instances just to get around real quick, and it worked. So, and that lasted maybe 4 tenths before all the walkers passed on the left hand side of me, and I had like a free lane to go around after that. So yeah, either way, good crowd, fun times, good cause. Glad I came.